Today we have a game of Skaven versus Stormcast Eternals. With Stormcast, though, I chose the list of just a bunch of infantry. I wanted to try it out before some of the units in here go away, namely the Sequitors. But I wanted to see a bunch of bodies on the table for them. So, Hollow Heart with Gardas, Andrasta, and Lord Relictor, and then just a bunch of foot guys. With that, here's my Skaven. I painted this up in about 2 weeks for the just a 2,000 point list. So I'll excuse some of it as I just kind of threw it together, and I ran out of some basing material, so some of them aren't based yet, but it's coming in the mail. It's still in the process of getting the wood done for the gnaw holes as well. So excuse that, please. But we'll go ahead and jump on into it. Stormcast deployed first, and they decided to let Skaven take the first turn, considering we're just gonna try to hold out and weather through the storm, hopefully, of the shooting that's gonna occur. So we'll see going to Skaven turn 1. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm gonna go ahead and video record rolling the Ratling Cannons because they're one of the most fun units of Skaven, I think. And we're gonna have that one in the far, go on over to that large blob of 10 Vindictors. We'll roll up the power real quick. A 6, of course. And we're gonna go ahead and see if it blows up. We've got 1, thank goodness, and 2, 3 mortals. And 2 damage on them. All right, then next Warplightning Cannon into the same unit. They ended up actually saving 2 out of the 3 with the Gardas saves. So we'll see if this one does any damage. With a 5. And go ahead and roll that up. See if they go ahead and blow up as well. Getting 1, 2, 3 ones, dealing again 3 mortals. Let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. He'll have 1 wound remaining. And then the 3 mortals. Let's see if Gardas saves any of these. Nope. So that will kill 1.5 there. So Skaven turn 1, they chose Magical Dominance. Was able to just go ahead and cast from that guy, Mystic Shield onto the Rat Ogors. With that, they gained their 2 points. Plus 1 for a score having 1, 2 for 2. Don't have more yet. And as far as shooting goes, these guys did some Windlaunchers on into the archers over here. Went ahead and did all-out attack, so hitting on 3s, hit with 2 of them, wounding on 3s, and they rolled a 2 and a 1, so whiffed on that one. And then I believe you guys saw what the Warplightning Cannons did, only were able to kill 2 of the Vindictors on over here. With that, we're gonna go into Stormcast turn 1. So turn 1 for Stormcast, they chose Led Into the Maelstrom. Moved on up everybody. Shot with a few of their bows, dealing a couple wounds, the 6 to the Helpit Abomination, and then 5 wounds to the Rat Ogors there. We went ahead and dealt some, teleported these not Vanquishers, I forget their name, but the Great Sword guys, teleported them back here. They made a 12-inch charge on in, so that's 1 battle line. The Liberators also made a charge in, so that's 2 battle line, well, more than enough. They all ended up dying, so we're gonna use a command point for Call for Aid, bring them back here shortly. Andrasta made her charge in, was worried that she would kill these Stormfiends, but only ended up dealing 3 wounds to them. They failed their battle shock as I rolled a 6. I did not expect to roll a 6, but I did, and 1 left. As The other guy died to shooting from these bowmen here. They dealt 7 wounds to him. Swords came on in, slaughtered 16 rats. Left with 4. We chose the battle shock. We chose to inspiring presence them so that they weren't going to run away. Leaving that one up for chance. Ogres, I should have rolled for them. They should be fine though. They only lost 1. Yeah, they're fine. And I left those 2 heroes, even though they could have chosen to go in and fight. I left them just within 3. Maybe Skaven will choose bait the trap next round. And priority roll. We've got a 6 for Skaven, 5 for Stormcast, and we'll go on for Skaven turn 2. Well, not having a very good hero phase for Skaven. They're going to go ahead and try to shoot Andrasta to death with one of these Warpfire Cannons. Thinking that we were going to do maybe Restrained and not overload it, I decided, let's overload this thing. Let's see what's going to happen. And if it kills Andrasta, that's even better. And the power is going to be a 5. All right. Well, that's going to kill it. But Andrasta will take 4 mortals. So, on 4 ups for the ward. She saves 3, failed 1. Wanting her dead, we're going to use the other one against her. Let's see, power level 3. That's a bit better. So let's see what happens here for this one. All right, we got 1, 2 wounds. Another 3 dropped. So Andrasta will take 5, 6, 7 mortals. And as far as this thing goes, as long as we don't get... All right, 4. It will still stay alive with 2 wounds remaining. Andrasta, though, let's see, on 4 ups, only takes 2 wounds out of that. After being shot at by basically everything here, including the Rat Ogors and him and everything, she had 1 wound remaining. This little flamethrower guy decided to might as well target her, and on a 3-up she suffered 1 mortal, and on a 4-up she failed and will bring down Andrasta. Well, Skaven turn 2, they decided to go for bait and trap. I was originally thinking magical mayhem and just delete this unit with Blizzard, as there is a hero with it right there. But after calculating how many wounds I would need to deal, it would actually be quite difficult to do. So we decided to go with bait and trap. We retreated that unit there, the engineer, as well as the Clanrats, so we could dump out the weapons team as well. Left him within 3 inches. The rocket launcher guy so that they couldn't move, and moved the rats on up and dumped out their weapon team as well. Was going to charge the rats if needed, but we didn't need to, as we charged the hero here as well as the weapons team to get 2, and we also charged the abomination as well. Andrasta obviously died shooting in the shooting phase, and that was pretty much it. The abomination, after I charged, he had 6 wounds remaining. I forgot about that. I decided to go ahead and fight over here instead, not forgetting about the Shield of Civilization, where on a 3-up they deal the D3 mortals to him. Ended up getting it on 2 of the units, and it actually dealt an additional 6, so they rolled quite well for that. So 6 mortals on him. He had 12 runes remaining when I came after him with them. Not realizing that he only has 14, I still went ahead and kept it, and this Liberator unit the champion there with the great sword came on up, hit with everything, wounded with everything, and slayed the great beast. He had backup organs, rolled a 1, got to re-roll it, dealt some mortals all the way around, and Gardas saves on a bunch except for the Sequitors, who ended up losing 1. And then over here, they lost, I think 1, and dealt a wound on 1 from the hero going first. And then they went ahead and killed the weapon team and dealt 1 wound back onto the hero there, the Master Moulder. With that, Stormcast went ahead and did Inspiring Presence on them so that they didn't have to take Battle Shock because they had lost 5. And we will go now. Charges failed for the Rat Ogors as well. But besides that, we'll do some Battle Shock for these guys. These guys will generate D3 more rats. But besides that, we'll go on to Stormcast turn 2. Turn 2 for Stormcast. They did challenge no challenge too great. Tried to decide to kill that hero here with this Redeemer unit. They were able to do it to the wound, just barely, even with an all-out attack. So they dealt 4 wounds to him. He already had 1 from before. He did do heroic Finest Hour to stop it, but was then not able to. Skaven did rally on the Stormfiends and were able to actually gain 1 back. So they were able to do that, at least. And then Stormcast decided to run with these guys, and it dealt 3 mortals to them, and they didn't save any of them. Decided to walk with the rest of the units, shot some fired some arrows, and Gardas did his cloak at the Rat Ogors, killing 1 and wounding another. And then we charged with the Vindictors. Unfortunately, though, they made it in, but then the Warpfire Cannon here that was here was able to deal a couple wounds to them. They at least 6, I believe. They piled in and fought, but didn't do anything there. And then when we fought here, we had to go first here. Otherwise, Skaven could just retreat with their hero, and we didn't want that. So in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have charged with them, but went ahead, fought here, killed the hero. Then the Stormfiends went ahead, killed a few more of the Vindictors. They went ahead and charged, fought as well. In the end, they lost 5 and only dealt about 4 wounds to the Stormfiends. So with that, we're gonna go into priority and see what's up. Right now, it's still a tie game. There's a lot left on the board still, and we'll see what goes on next. And roll priority. We've got a tie, so Stormcast get to Skaven get to choose, and I think Skaven are going to take it. So I moved the Warp Lightning Cannon from that maul hole into that hole and popped them out over there to try to set up for another battle tactic next turn, but we'll see if it is going to matter. And it's only going to be able to do regular power, and he's going to try to hit those Judicators, try to get them to stop taking pot shots at us. Let's see what the power is. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a pretty decent roll. 5 mortals onto those Judicators. They're within Gardas' range. So we're gonna save 1. So 2 of them will die. So being within 18 inches, this Bombardier decided to go ahead and shoot his rocket into those Judicators. Went ahead, said more rocket. Got 6 attacks. Ended up hitting and wounding with 4 of them. And all 4 went through, dealing 12 damage. Gardas saves, only saved 2 of them. So that whole unit's wiped. But the 2 shots that he did miss ended up being once. So we're gonna roll those real quick for D3 damage apiece on him, which kills him. So that's Skaven for it. He died, but took a unit out with him. Well, Skaven turn 3, they chose Led into the Maelstrom. So they needed to get a hero to charge, as well as a battle line, which was the Rat Ogors. So they charged with them. They wanted to make sure that they definitely got it with the heroes. So they did try to charge with him. Ended up not working out, getting a double 1. And I think he'll take some mortals from that, actually. And then we also charged with this guy here, thinking that he was going to survive. We left him in combat after he did fight, because we didn't really think that they were going to hit him as hard as they did, which they did, and ended up killing that engineer during combat. They also were, because I wanted to try to keep them from rallying, to leave them in combat, but unfortunately they killed him, and in doing so also was able to pile around and almost take this objective. They count as 3 right now on the objective for each, and we've got 10 rats still over there, so that's fine. Skaven did lose this objective though. In the shooting phase though, this Bombardier actually blew himself up, but in doing so, ended up killing that unit here for the Judicators. Judicators also got picked apart by the Warplightning Cannon that's over there, as well as the Rat Ogors shooting on into them, killing them down to the man. With that, Rat Ogors charged. They ended up slaughtering this unit of Liberators, as well as 2 in the Sequitors. The hero there ended up dealing final wound on that Liberator there. Liberators weren't able to deal any wounds to the general, but they were able to finish off a Rat Ogre. Over here, the Vindicator was able to die to the rats, and the Stormfiend there. Stormfiend actually ended up taking 4 wounds from the Vindicators, and the rats took a wound, but then healed themselves back up to 1 at the end of the battle shock phase. Turn 3 for Stormcast, they chose Bait and Trap, retreated with this unit here, the Vindictors, as well as retreated with the Sequitors over there. It was pretty crazy. They were able to rally another 3 of the, they were able to rally 3 of them, and was able to charge on into the rats, killing about 14 of them. These guys were able to charge over here and got another 3 rats there in combat, and the other 3 rats, or 4, there were 4 rats that ran, with 1 coming back at the end of that turn. Took a wound on the Stormfiend and killed 1 Sequitur as well. Over here, the Rat Ogors were able to kill everybody. Unfortunately though, one of the Rat Ogors did die from the backlash to everything, from killing those guys. We decided to go ahead and roll on their leadership for them. Their bravery is 5. So we went ahead and did a battle shock test with them. Ended up rolling a 6. We have 1 command point left as Skaven. So instead of using it to auto-save the rest of these rats, we're going to go ahead and roll up 3+. This Master Moulder will be able to bring the whole unit back. So that's what we're gonna bank on, instead of keeping the 5 rats there. They're just gonna run to battle shock. So we'll roll that up right now and see what we get. A 1. All right, so ogres don't come back then. With that, it's a pretty crazy turn. Stormcast were able to take this objective. Score 1, score more, score 2, more. And then the battle tactic will give them a turn of 5. And then we'll go ahead and roll for priority. and we'll see what happens. We got a 4 for Stormcast and a 2 for Skaven. So it'll be Stormcast's pick this time around. And at turn 4 for Stormcast, they chose Surround and Destroy, choosing this Liberator unit here to go ahead and hold this back end edge. This Liberator unit here to hold this side edge, and the Relictor teleported himself all the way back here to hold that edge. With that, they charged in their Vindictors and killed the Stormfiend, and the Sequitors were able to mop up the rest of the rats. They failed their charge over here, getting an 8 but needing a 9 as the Skaven redeployed, and failed their charge here with Gardas because he just wanted to go kill their general, but he did shoot him with 2 wounds there. And they also charged in their Sequitors over here, getting only 1 wounding hit on the device. The Warplightning Cannon just needed a 6-up to continue to survive, which he did make. So he will be around Skaven turn 4. Turn 4 for Skaven, they chose Magical Mayhem. This guy still had Blizzard, and we generated 1 Primal dice, so there was a chance. Rolled a 5 and a 1, and because there was a chance on a 6, he would be able to still get it off. Rolled again, got double 1s, ended up blowing himself up. So, yeah, there's that. With that, this cannon over here rolled a 6 for its power, dealt 1 mortal to the Sequitors, who then blew it up, so that is no more. And they moved their general on over here, who heroic recovered his 2 wounds as well, leaving Skaven with 1 model on the board, 2 points this turn, and we'll roll for priority. They can still do Intimidate the Invaders turn 5 if they win, which they don't, as that's a 2 and a 4, or 3, I mean. And yeah, it'll be Stormcast turn, and they'll see if they can kill that last little guy over there. Turn 5 for Stormcast, they chose Secure the Battlefield, having a unit outside of 6 inches of any enemy models and 1 within each quarter. So they were able to do that without a problem. Gardas started running on over, trying to grab that general, wanting to get in a fisticuffs with him, and was not able to. That general ran away like a chicken he was. Did find a sour too, just in case. Gardas threw his cloak hammers at him, at the rat. The rat was able to save him, so nothing there. And then with Gardas, he popped his command ability for rerollable charges and was not able to get that either. So getting a 6 both times and needing an 8-inch charge. With that, the general will live for turn 5 for Skaven. Turn 5 for Skaven, Intimidate the Invaders, and continue to have this 1 point for 3 points. And that's about it. That's all he's gonna do, and that will be game. So in the end, it's going to be Stormcast victory with 23-17, not accounting for any grand strategies. So, pretty fun game. As far as Skaven goes, not really my motif, but they are a fun army to play. I'm glad I painted them up, was able to do that and get some variety in with some of my other lists in here. So I did like the foot list for Stormcast. Wished Andrasta, I was a little hot and heavy with her and was able to, and just yeeted her up the board. So I don't know if I kept her back, maybe I could have had her re-energize some of these other units a bit more, which would have been fun. I would have liked to see that. That kind of the main point of the list too. Gardas keeping them alive, and then Andrasta just replenishing their units when they start to take losses. But unfortunately, the first turn battle tactic for this list was really tough, and I had to just get her forward. So with that, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.